Looking for something great to watch without spending a dime? These 5 exceptional films offer everything, from heart-pounding thrills to thought-provoking drama, and they're all legally streaming for free right now. Whether you're in the mood for something bold, clever, or emotionally rich, this list has something you'll want to hit play on tonight. Denzel Washington transforms into Reuben Hurricane Carter, a boxer whose promising career when he's wrongfully convicted of triple murder. The justice system fails him. Not once, but twice. Based on Carter's actual imprisonment, this film doesn't merely recount events. It excavates 20 years of a man's life, stolen through racial prejudice and corrupt police work. Washington's performance pulses with controlled fury. His body becomes a prison within a prison. Muscles taut against injustice, eyes revealing intelligence that refuses submission. The camera follows his deterioration, then his remarkable resilience. The narrative jumps between timelines, revealing how a group of Canadians stumble upon Carter's autobiography and become obsessed with proving his innocence. Their investigation peels away decades of fabricated evidence, like onion layers. Boxing sequences punctuate the story, not as sport, but as metaphor for Carter's larger fight. What elevates this film beyond standard biopics? The Hurricane refuses simple villainy. It examines how systems, not just individuals, perpetuate injustice. It shows how racism works as institutional machinery grinding forward without compassion. Carter's story deserves your attention because it happened, and continues happening. When Washington delivers his courtroom testimony, his words transcend the specific case, speaking to anyone who's faced seemingly immovable opposition. The film's final act delivers both vindication and complex emotions that defy easy resolution. Carter's freedom arrives too late to restore what was taken, yet his unbroken spirit offers something more powerful than simple revenge, a testament to human resilience against overwhelming odds. Edward Norton transforms into Eisenheim, a magician whose performances captivate Vienna's elite with illusions that defy explanation. His calculated return to his homeland conceals motives beyond mere entertainment. A childhood romance reignites when Duchess Sophie von Teschen attends his show. Their forbidden connection, interrupted years ago by rigid class barriers. Their eyes lock across the theater, memories flooding back instantly. Her engagement to Crown Prince Leopold complicates their reunion beyond measure. Chief Inspector O observes Eisenheim's increasingly provocative performances with growing suspicion, the police official's loyalty to the prince, with his fascination for the illusionist's seemingly impossible feats. Each trick becomes more dangerous, more politically charged. Director Neil Berger bathes the film in sepia tones, evoking old photographs coming to life. Magic performances escalate from simple sleight of hand to manifestations that challenge the boundary between illusion and the supernatural. The audience questions, alongside Inspector Uhl, whether Eisenheim possesses genuine mystical abilities or merely unprecedented skill. Political tensions provide the backdrop for this love triangle. The Austro-Hungarian Empire teeters on the edge of change. The Crown Prince's temperament grows increasingly volatile. Eisenheim's popularity threatens established power structures, as common citizens find inspiration in his defiance of natural laws. Glass's haunting score intensifies scenes where glances convey more than dialogue ever could. The relationship between Eisenheim and Sophie unfolds through subtle gestures rather than grand declarations. Their connection deepened by shared history that remains largely unspoken. What elevates this film beyond standard period drama? The Illusionist crafts a mystery where the solution hides in plain sight. It challenges viewers to distinguish between what they're shown and what actually occurs. The narrative itself becomes an elaborate illusion. The film's final revelation recontextualizes everything that preceded it, rewarding attentive viewers with a satisfaction that lingers long after the credits roll. A cryogenically frozen British spy awakens after 30 years to confront his nemesis, who's followed the same preservation path. Mike Myers transforms into Austin Powers, a swinging 60s agent whose flamboyant fashion and outdated attitudes collide with the buttoned-up 90s. The plot runs on absurdity, not logic. Powers must stop Dr. Evil, also played by Myers, with hairless, scarred perfection, from blackmailing world governments with a nuclear weapon. Their parallel journeys through time create comedy gold, as both struggle with modern sensibilities and fail miserably. Director Jay Roach builds a world where spy film cliches aren't just acknowledged, they're lovingly exaggerated until they snap. Henchmen die without consequence. Lairs operate with improbable logistics. Female characters have names that censors somehow approved. Elizabeth Hurley's Agent Kensington reflects the modern world's reaction to Powers' inappropriate behavior. Her deadpan responses highlight the cultural shifts that occurred while Austin stayed frozen. Their partnership moves beyond predictable romance into something more nuanced and funnier. The film's visual style evokes psychedelic spy adventures. Vibrant colors pop against minimalist sets. Random dance breaks interrupt the story unapologetically. Teeth gleam with impossible whiteness, unless comically British. What sets this comedy apart? Austin Powers doesn't just mock Bond tropes, it celebrates their innocent appeal. Myers' performance borders on madness, delivering straight-faced dialogue while looking utterly ridiculous. Watch Austin Powers to experience comedy that blends broad physical gags with clever wordplay. Its influence runs so deep. Younger viewers might not know how many catchphrases started here. From Powers' bathroom struggle to Dr. Evil's family therapy session, the film delivers masterclasses in timing that reward multiple viewings. October 1962, American spy planes capture images that freeze the blood of intelligence analysts. Soviet nuclear missiles under secret construction in Cuba now point at U.S. cities just 90 miles offshore. Kevin Costner portrays Kenny O'Donnell, special assistant to President Kennedy, thrust into the inner circle during humanity's closest brush with nuclear annihilation. The film reconstructs with stunning detail how Kennedy's team navigated 13 days, where a single misstep could trigger global destruction. Military leaders demand immediate airstrikes. Diplomats urge caution. Russian ships move closer. The clock races forward. And then, communications between superpowers snap. Director Roger Donaldson transforms dry history into nervous energy. Cabinet room debates become psychological battlegrounds. Hawks and doves clashing over the fate of millions. The camera lingers on faces weighing the unthinkable. How many American deaths count as acceptable losses? Bruce Greenwood's JFK carries the crushing weight of responsibility, balancing generals calling for war with Soviet silence that conceals deadly intent. His brother Bobby, Stephen Colt, becomes the voice of conscience, pushing back against assumptions that could spark catastrophe. It shatters the myth that history unfolds with order or clarity. 13 Days shows how miscommunication, ego, and even equipment failures nearly sparked the end of civilization. While diplomacy collapsed, backdoor channels opened. While generals pushed forward, others defied orders. The tension builds not from action sequences, but from the terrifying realization that nuclear war could start from misunderstanding alone. Their choices preserved the future, a future we now live in, often forgetting how easily it could have ended. Alec Baldwin plays Jabez Stone, a struggling writer whose desperation leads to the ultimate bargain. One night in Manhattan, he meets a mysterious woman, Jennifer Love Hewitt, who offers literary success at a price that seems distant enough to ignore. Loosely based on The Devil and Daniel Webster, this modern Faustian tale tracks Stone's meteoric rise through the publishing world. Manuscripts once rejected now trigger bidding wars. Fame arrives fast, burying his principles beneath wealth and applause. Anthony Hopkins becomes Daniel Webster, a legendary publisher with a moral compass unshaken by industry rot. As the payment date draws closer than Stone imagined, he turns to Webster for help, to challenge a deal made in desperation. The film blends New York's literary scene with supernatural elements surprisingly well. Editorial meetings become battlegrounds for integrity. Cocktail parties reveal the hollow core of Stone's new life. Success intoxicates, but his real voice starts to vanish. Directed by Baldwin himself, the film lingers on Stone's quiet unraveling, hesitating over autographs, flinching at praise, staring at a reflection filled with doubt. These small betrayals build slowly toward an inevitable reckoning. Why seek out this film despite its rocky release? Shortcut to Happiness explores artistic compromise with rare subtlety. It admits talent alone is not enough, but asks if shortcuts are worth the cost. Their courtroom face-off with supernatural stakes becomes a deeper meditation. What gives art its value beyond money and fame? Stone's journey speaks to anyone chasing ambition, where temptation whispers and shortcuts appear. Because contracts, real or not, always come with fine print. And there you have it, 5 hidden gems, modern classics, and unforgettable stories, all ready to stream without spending a dime. Whether you're in the mood for mind-bending twists, razor-sharp comedy, or high-stakes historical drama, these films deliver. No excuses, no subscriptions, just great cinema. If you found something new to watch, hit that like button and drop a comment with your favorite free movie find. And if you're into underrated gems, lost classics, and the kind of movies that deserve a second look, subscribe to Vintageverse, because here we don't follow trends, we rediscover them. Now grab your popcorn and press play. You've got some watching to do.